Welcome, welcome, welcome. That changes everything. This is the first podcast right here. We got B motherfucking P in the house. Say hi, Brian.
That's me, motherfuckers.
Josh right here. All right, so this is the first podcast. You know what? This is going to be kind of random. So we're going to talk about whatever we feel like talking about at the time. Today, this week anyway, we're thinking about Survivor. We just had the series or season finale of Blood versus Water. What'd you think about the finale, Brian?
Oh, I thought it was pretty great.
Let's get a hit.
Sorry.
Hey, you know what? I got a better idea. What's Brian smoking?
Oh, sorry. I have a cold. Um, I thought it was pretty good. I was rooting for maybe someone else to win redemption. Maybe
Right.
like the DOB Laura.
Really?
Maybe her and Sierra. I don't know. I have mixed emotions about the whole thing, really.
Do you think if Laura would have won, it would have changed like the ending? Do you think that she would have been able to break that alliance between those three, like Monica, Jervis, and Tyson? Do you think she would have actually been able to get in there and break that alliance?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Monica was pretty solid. But
Yeah.
maybe they shouldn't have went after Monica. Maybe they should have went after Jerv and tricked him into thinking oh hey dude, you're gonna lose to Tyson, or you're gonna lose. Monica's gonna beat you. She's mom of the year, bro. I don't know.
That's a great point. Considering in the end, what I don't think Jervis got one vote. I
No,
think it's like 9-1
yeah.
in the end, one for Monica. So that's probably a good idea.
I really thought Monica was gonna get more votes, dude. No joke. I thought she was gonna win the damn thing, honestly.
So like, oh, so her one vote was Vetus,
Right, right.
and Vetus kind of said in the beginning,
That she
like,
stabbed him
hey,
in the back and all
yeah,
this.
he's like Tyson. I said I'm never gonna vote for you, so I'm not gonna vote for you. So I mean,
It was
who
between
besides
Jerv and
Vetus?
Monica. Yeah.
Besides Vetus, who do you think may have switched and voted for Monica?
Well, I thought, fuck, I gotta think of all the people that were there, but like out of all of them, I was like, what are some of the people's names?
So
Sorry, I
we got
just smoked.
Hayden, we got let's see, we got Hayden, we got Tina, we got Katie, we got what's her name, Sierra.
Okay, right, right. So I thought, first of all the women are voting for Monica, right?
Okay,
So obviously all the women are voting for Monica, especially since they're all moms pretty much, except I think Katie. I would think that they would all just like go with the mom. She like kicked ass at a lot of challenges. She stuck in there. She got to the end. I mean, she didn't play a bad game, but I guess she was just so annoying. I don't know.
apparently, that's exactly. It's funny. Like in the end, everyone was kind of basically just calling her out for like not having a side and basically just being annoying.
Yeah, they're like, you're fake, you're annoying, you suck. I didn't get it. I don't know, man.
So do you think maybe they just had maybe none of them
I
have
can I
ever
can
seen a
see
nice.
why they voted for Tyson. I mean, Tyson played a great game, and that's obviously what the motivation was for all the votes. But I just thought maybe people would vote more based on other things, like their personal feelings and stuff, I guess.
Right. I'm trying to think like I mean I guess traditionally, especially if you're a previous Survivor player, you're gonna hopefully vote for the best
Right,
Survivor
right.
player and not just with who you like the most. That seems more like a newbie kind of type vote, don't you think?
I do, but then again, I think a lot of people in the end will just go with their heart or their gut, rather than I don't know.
Right.
Obviously, I'm an idiot though because Tyson won.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess overall I assumed he was going to win, but I tried to think of reasons why I thought I figured Jervis didn't have a chance. Monica was the only one who seemed to have a chance, but one vote. What do we know, right?
You know what I thought was great was
What's that?
damn, I'm getting some feedback on my mic. I'll have to see if that comes through on the recording. But
Okay.
I thought was great was when Tina beat Laura in the redemption.
You know
After
what? That's a great point. And actually, it's funny you say that. That's the beginning of my list of what I wanted to talk to you about. I have it written here. Tina surprised me. I mean, she kicked ass in that final, and then Laura like trying to like
That
come
was
at her and be like,
insane.
he's like, give it to me. She's like, just give it to me. I want it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
And Tina's like, girl, like, that's not gonna
I'm
happen.
not gonna go out of the game no matter what. But I thought it was pretty ironic that Laura helped Tina several times in other challenges to keep her
Oh,
there, and then in the end she beats her when it matters, you know.
good point. Hey, maybe that's why she said that. It was kind of like, hey, I got you here in the first
Well,
place.
yeah, that's why I think she was saying that. But if you're in Tina's shoes, you're not gonna fucking quit just because she helped you a couple times, you know. Oh, well, you helped me, so you own me. I'm out, you know.
So who do you like better overall? I mean, Tina or Laura would be, I guess, right? Laura B. Who? Wait, is that Laura B
I
or
don't
is
really
that
like Tina that much. I mean,
okay?
she's just kind of like a crazy old lady to me, you know. It's like she shouldn't even be in Survivor as far as I'm concerned. I can't
Did you
believe that she actually won, you know.
did you see that season?
No. Was she a
Okay.
badass or what?
No, actually, she was. I mean, from what I remember, I mean, it's been a long time, but she kind of annoyed me the whole time. Like, it was kind of one of those like Colby seasons almost, where it's like, oh, we're so happy, like we're all gonna get along, we're not gonna blindside anybody.
I hate that shit.
Yeah, but I think she ended up actually blindsiding. So, I got to watch that again.
I
If
want to
we're gonna
watch
do
that
some,
too, man. Maybe we could do a little podcast of that thing, you know.
yeah, there you go. We, try to, yeah, exactly. We should get the season and kind of start from the beginning.
And maybe not do every episode, but maybe watch like, 3 episodes and then do a podcast recapping or something.
Right. Yeah. Or yeah, like three at a time or something.
But I don't know. I guess I shouldn't talk about that kind of stuff until we get
Yeah, we'll
off the
figure it
air.
out on the podcast.
Yeah.
So, but no, Tina really, she surprised me, man. She, like I said, I mean, she didn't get much airtime, and truthfully, I don't think I really like the whole Redemption Island aspect
I
of
don't
this.
either. I don't either. It's
Yeah,
like they said they called it out this season though when they said they basically brought that in to make sure that Russell Hantz or Boston Rob didn't go home the first day of Heroes versus Villains.
oh, okay, that makes sense. And I know this is kind of a brainchild of fucking Probst there. So
Probsty and his Redemption. I don't know about the whole Redemption Island thing, man.
yeah, I think that's why he keeps bringing it back.
I definitely like Laura B better because she was hotter. She has big titties, and she has a semi decent looking daughter that I can maybe imagine a threesome with. You know. So, plus she kicked ass at the challenges, in Redemption, which I thought was like she was pretty solid at that, and she just doesn't have the balance aspect. Apparently, you saw her on that fucking podium, dude. I was laughing my ass off, dude. Her fucking doing that chicken dance on that thing with her arms up in the air, fucking. Oh, dude, I was dying.
Yeah, that thing was bouncing around a lot. It seemed like she came back a couple times, but she didn't have that like stance that Tina
Yeah,
seemed to
Tina was
have.
solid, bro. Solid like a rock, dude. Holding her leg with her hands. Why didn't Laura do that? You know? I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's a good point. No, I was impressed. I was impressed. So,
But
but I gotta say
Tina
in the end,
physically for an old bag, she's freaking good. You know what I mean? Like,
she's a great Survivor player.
yeah, she's like a woodsy chick climbing trees, and I imagine she's out there in the woods hunting and shit. Who knows? But I mean, she's
I
old as
think if I
shit.
think if she was out there for a while, like before she had gotten voted out originally, she would have done pretty good. She seems to be pretty. I mean, she's won once, she's been in before, and she lasted. Um, you know,
But you know what
I'm not
also
sure how
pissed
long
me
she lasted.
off was when she didn't let her daughter win.
Really?
That pissed me off.
Okay, well, let's talk about that. So you got Katie and Tina, and they're doing the build the stick, and grabbing the key, like an old hat for Survivor. I mean, I've seen this one a while. So right away, Laura B and Tina are going to be good at this, and pretty much like Katie's going to suck at it. So like I'm sure they talked beforehand, and I think even Tina said like, oh well, if it comes down to it, I'm going to let her win. But I think maybe in the end there, it became so painfully obvious that it was going to take a long time for Katie to come back to win. Well, that maybe her mom finally was just like,
Well, I mean,
ah,
this whole blood versus water thing has been about sacrifice. Like Rupert
okay,
sacrificed for his chick.
okay.
Tyson's chick went out and he was pissed.
Mm-hmm,
Like stuff
mm-hmm.
like that. And yeah, and then here comes Tina's chance to. She's already won Survivor before, and
Right.
she has a chance to let her daughter keep going in the game or send her daughter home and her keep playing.
Right.
It's like, for one, for me, her daughter's way hotter and nicer to look at, and I'd much rather see her on the show than Tina's ugly old wrinkled ass. But on the other aspect, you already won, lady. You won. You tried. You went to redemption. Your alliance fell apart. Give your daughter a shot at it. She has a better chance of getting in there than you do.
Okay, but do you think at that point? I mean, to me, it was almost like she was almost embarrassed that she was doing so bad, in that she was. It was almost like it was like, here, I'm just gonna go through now, like this, and
Who, Katie?
Kate's, well, Tina, like she was kind of looking over at Katie, like, okay, I'm going as slow as I can here, without looking
She
completely.
didn't want to obviously throw it. You're saying?
Yeah, and I think at a point it was almost like, okay, she's doing so bad. Like maybe she was just like either we're gonna sit here for the next half hour while she tries to do this, or I'm just gonna like get this over with really
Yeah,
quick.
but so what if it takes an hour or 2 hours? It's
Right.
the game. One of you's going home, and it was basically in Tina's hands who was going home at that point, and Tina had to make the decision: am I gonna beat my daughter and send her home, or do I sacrifice myself and let my daughter play a game that I've already played before, that I've already won before?
Yeah.
I guess that's where I was at with it. I don't blame Tina for fucking throwing her daughter under the bus and taking her out of the game. I mean, it's $1 million, dude.
Yeah. Do you think Katie would have had a better chance at winning?
I think socially she would have been able to do it. I don't know if she would have been able to beat Laura B.
Yeah, Laura B she was a monster in that, man. I mean,
Or
what
wait,
she
she's
won like
Laura M. Laura
6-0?
M. That's Laura M.
Laura M.
Laura B is
Laura B
Rupert's
is
wife.
Rupert's wife, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Sorry, I get them. I'm just gonna call her Big Titty Laura.
Okay, okay. So, okay, Sierra's mom. I'll just go with that.
Sierra's mom. Yeah, Sierra's mom.
All right, well, okay, let's change it up here. So,
Slash threesome material.
next on my list, this is kind of jumping all over the place, but I'm thinking like, okay, so Monica, like, I mean, obviously at this point, I mean, my question was, should Monica have flipped? And now looking back, I think it was obvious she should have flipped a long time ago. She never had a chance to beat Jervis. She had never had a chance to beat Tyson, especially. So when should she have flipped? I guess is my question.
That's a really good question. Because I feel the same way. I don't think she should have just stick with those guys. I think she should have made a move at some point. She had so many chances to make a move, and
Yeah,
every time she pussed out, and that might be what lost it for her, was that she did have so many chances to make a move and she never made one. She just stuck with those guys.
yeah,
And I guess in her head it was, well, I'm going to beat these guys if I get to the end with them cuz I'm super bitch and they suck. I
right.
don't know what she was thinking honestly, but
Well, I think she kind of said it in the end. She was kind of like she figured, hey, I was the nicest one. I'm the nice guy. Or I'm haven't she was like, haven't you guys ever met a nice person before?
yeah.
Or,
But I think that might have lost her some votes, that moment right there where she started lashing out at the entire jury.
I agree.
Going, you people, have you people ever met? Have you people ever met a nice person? And they were all kind of like, whoa, crazy
Have you
lady, what
met
the
new
fuck?
people?
What, you hate us all now? We're here, we're supposed to be voting to give you $1 million and you're acting like a fucking psycho. I think that might have swayed some votes away from her when she acted like that, especially when she started just lashing out at the whole jury like a lunatic. But,
Yeah, I think you said in the beginning you thought, and I kind of did too, that she was going to get more of the women vote, and I think that might have killed it right there.
yeah,
Yeah,
because I don't think she got that people were going to vote for her. I think she thought everyone was just like, fuck you, Monica. And so
right.
she was just like, well, fuck you guys too. And everybody's sitting there going, no, no, like we were going to vote for you, you idiot.
Yeah, she kind of talked him out of it. It seems.
Yeah, I think she did. She did a horrible fucking ending performance thing there, and like in those situations, you want to say as little as possible and look as squeaky clean as possible, not sit there and get all crazy.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know, dude. She fucked it up.
So if she would have flipped, like,
But that's
let's
why I thought she was gonna get more votes, was because she was the generous one who was giving up all the challenges and the food things and saying, oh well, you guys can take the food rewards and I don't even want it, and you
right.
guys do this, you guys do that, and
I think she was playing that kind of old school game when like Tina and Colby won. It was like, well, whoever's the nicest, most honest person, is going to go to the end. But she didn't realize she wasn't playing with anybody else like that.
And yeah,
I
nobody
don't think it
else
was
really
one other
thought of
person.
it that way. You're right. You have to think about who you're playing with because the people she was playing with, they didn't really value that kind of game. They more valued Tyson's game,
Yeah.
obviously.
No, absolutely, absolutely. And Tyson saying like in the beginning, well, I'm going to kind of hold back and not make the decisions. I think that's what they really should have talked about there in the end. That, well, when it came down to the decision making, Tyson kind of asked us to fucking make the decisions. They didn't really get into that. That surprised me.
Yeah,
I think that would have been a good point in the end by Jervis or Monica.
because they did talk to them a lot.
And he kind of made that point over and over again in confessionals that, hey, he's like, I'm running it, but I want them to kind of make the decision because I want to take that focus off of myself. You
Yeah,
know,
and he did say that in the end. I don't think anybody respected his game though. It was just like no matter what he did or what he said, they were always just gonna see him as Tyson's, right hand man or whatever.
Jervis, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's funny because God, how many times during the season when somebody said that or that kind of came out a little bit, did Jervis like freak
Flip
out? Like
out,
he
yeah.
started yelling, "What?
What?
I'm the guy!" Which
Exactly.
again didn't help his cause in the end.
Yeah, acting like a lunatic, yeah. Yeah, he had no shot really unless he made a move towards Tyson, I think. And even then, I don't think he could have beat any of the other people there.
Right.
I don't know. I think Monica should have taken out Tyson when she had a chance. I mean, the first chance she had, but Tyson had an idol pretty much the whole game, so.
Right. Okay. So okay, that kind of brings that to a previous point I wanted to make. So I'm thinking like, okay, so when Sierra went against Hayden and what's his name? Colton's boyfriend.
Right,
Um,
right.
and when they came to Sierra and wanted to do that whole thing, and Sarah ended up doing it, that would have been a good point, I think, for Monica to have switched. You know, and if she's against Sierra, let's say, and Hayden, and again, I'm trying to remember what's Colton's boyfriend's name.
Oh, Caleb.
Caleb, which I love Caleb. I think he had great. I bet he'll come back again. But so if she would have flipped then, I think okay. So she flips on Tyson. Tyson's blindsided. He doesn't use his idol. Okay. So then you got Monica, Sierra, Hayden, and again, what was his name?
Caleb.
Caleb. So would that have been better for Monica? Do you think?
Well, who's she going to the end with?
Well, okay. Well, see that that's a good question. I mean,
Sorry.
at that point, she could have got Sierra. Katie's still in the game. She could have got Katie. Okay, it could have been kind of a girl alliance there,
Yeah.
right? You got three girls, you got three guys, but Jervis is already on the outside.
You know
So
what? They probably would have just voted Monica off, though.
you
All
think?
those people, yeah, because they'd be like, "Oh, you're Tyson's lapdog later, chick."
Well, don't you think they would have targeted Jervis first?
Probably because he was pretty good in challenges.
And in the end, they're all kind of like, they figured those two were the ones, Tyson and Jervis are the ones that were really kind of locked in there.
Yeah,
So, well, that's here and there.
that's
So, okay,
true.
well, let's move on here. So, that final immunity challenge, I thought that looked fucking. Actually, the last two, I gotta say, the last two immunity challenges, the one where, they got the board with like the 10 blocks they got to set up with the rope. Okay,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then the last one where you got all the little different like obstacle courses. You're getting your bags. I thought those looked fun. I thought those were two of the best challenges. Seemed like they saved the best for last there.
The last one really I liked. I liked that one. I thought the other one with the board and stuff that was a little too easy. They should have added some more dimensions to that.
Okay.
Because really, when you dropped those blocks, all that happened was you had to go back and set them back up. It really didn't set you back that much.
Yeah, I was surprised. I guess it would have taken too long. I thought in the beginning it was you had to just start over again, but maybe that would have just taken too long.
Right? Yeah, I thought too that you had to start over. But that other challenge, that was I want to get in that little bucket, go across the
Right?
thing.
That looked fun, man. I
Hell
like the
yeah.
I like the poles with like the little niches on it. You're going across. I like the Tina bouncing
Bouncing on
over
the thing on the net.
the. I like the emphasis on the audio. Like they're like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, that one was fun. I
Yep.
uh I
Slide.
wish more
They
of
brought
them were
the
more like complex like that too. Like they put more time and energy into the challenges.
right.
But I
Yeah.
think that one was so much work too that if they ran those challenges that crazy every time, that people would just be run ragged by the end of the 39 days.
Right.
People would be dying and shit by like day 15.
Right. Right.
So I gotta throw some easier, simpler challenges in there.
Yeah. No, for sure. So, like overall, what did you think about the challenges this season?
That's all right. I was surprised they didn't have like the relative one this year, unless I missed that one.
Well, you know what I mean. I actually, that's I thought about that too, but then I realized it's kind of like a relative season, so
That's
they didn't
true.
really. They
That's
already had
true.
their loved one there.
And you know what else? Sprint is no longer sponsoring the show, I heard.
Well, no, I noticed that they didn't have the sprint player of the
Right.
what is it, the favorite player or whatever this year.
And the relative stuff was usually tied in with Sprint, keeping in contact. They'd send them like a Sprint device with a
Right.
message from their family. It was all heavily Sprint endorsed. So
Hmm.
maybe
I wonder what happened there. Like, I
maybe
guess
they were
there's.
cutting that since Sprint decided not to sponsor it anymore. They cut that from the thing and they said, well, this is like a segue, like the blood versus water is like a segue into that.
Right.
Did you see
Yeah.
the preview for the next one?
Well, hey, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Let's.
Well, we're at 22 minutes, bro.
That's okay. We're
How long
good.
are we trying to make these anyway? Like a half hour?
You know what? I think we'll just let me get through these questions, and I'm thinking about 45 minutes, something like that.
Damn.
But we can figure it out from there. We can go less. We'll figure it out. We should tighten it up, but for a test, I think it's okay for now. So, okay, this is a weird question. I had this written down, and so I'm thinking, let's say, what do we got? What would anybody but Katie vote for Tina if she made it? So, okay, so I guess I'm thinking those. So let's say Tina did make it there in the end. Okay, so I mean, she didn't have a. I think my point on that was she's coming from the island there. Okay. Now, if you're been in the game the whole time and somebody is on Redemption Island and then they come back from the end, do you think they'll ever have a chance to win?
I thought if anybody did, it would have been the season when Ozzy did it.
That's a good point.
I was rooting for that guy so hard, man. I was like, I didn't even really care for Ozzy all that much at the beginning. I thought, hey, he's a pretty good player or whatever. I think he has a little too much attitude. But
Yeah,
yeah, he really pulled it out, man. I was like, man, that guy is solid. He deserves to win this thing, man. And I thought if anybody could pull it out, it would be him, and he still couldn't do it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So, and then there's Laura B, who kicked ass this whole. Or, I keep calling her Laura B. Laura
uh-huh.
M. I got Sierra's mom,
Yeah,
who's going through this whole thing, and she's winning every challenge, and then all it takes is one 80-year-old lady to come in there and balance a pot on her foot, and it's all over. So I mean, it may never happen, dude, but I mean, it's always a possibility, but I think it's highly unlikely.
yeah. No, I'd have to agree with you. I think that if you've been on the island the whole time, and you've kind of created these relationships the whole time, and you're there together. Somebody who
Right. If you're at Redemption, you already got voted out once, so they already hate you. And
right,
then when you get back, you're like, you got nobody because they already voted you out and you've been gone for like what, 4 or 5 weeks or some shit. You
yeah.
know, not weeks, but to us it's weeks. To them it's days. But
I mean, let's see.
yeah,
Lauren was there for quite a while, so she was there for probably 3 weeks at least. I'd say it was 40 days, pretty much altogether, 39 days. So,
yeah, I'm saying she was there for probably like 20 days, maybe.
okay.
She was there for a while, dude.
Yeah,
And we should pay attention to that kind of stuff more closely if we're doing these podcasts. You know what
exactly. Yeah, well, exactly.
I mean?
Do some
But
more homework.
yeah, we got to do some more homework. But no,
We're fans. We're just
I
not super
I
fans.
goes to the point that redemption is kind of stupid. I kind of get bummed out when redemption is there. Be-
I agree, and
Because people don't take getting voted out as seriously either, because they're like, oh well, I always have redemption. But if
right,
you're a smart player, you got to think redemption is basically you're out of the game. You're just gonna fucking stand redemption for a while and have some hope and have it crushed at the end. You know.
Right. I mean, maybe they should bring an aspect back that like more people kind of come back from redemption. That way, you're actually kind of making relationships, and you can kind of like, like come like blindside people. Like, somebody comes on the like Redemption Island that you wouldn't normally, align with, and then you're aligning with them, and then all of a sudden you're coming back and screwing someone else over. And if they're gonna do it, they just need to bring a different aspect to it, I think.
Yeah, they make the people stay there too long, and then once they get back, they're already out of the game. I thought they already crushed the redemption thing. Didn't they just bring it back this season?
Yeah, I think yeah, it's kind of back and forth with the Redemption Island. It's kind of it's one season they got it, and then it's gone for a couple.
I think
So
if anything, they should have let them when the person's at redemption be like, "Hey, do you want to take the place of your loved one?" Or did they do that? I don't remember. Like, if your
they,
loved one's at redemption, are you allowed to switch with them?
yeah, and that's a good question because they brought that up a lot in the beginning,
But then never, like Sierra could have switched with their mom at any time, right? I
right?
mean,
But well, yeah, but Sarah did vote her mom out, so I
that's
don't think
true.
that
I don't think she was gonna do that.
maybe just in the editing they just kind of like passed by it.
But Tina could have switched with Katie then, and shit like that, right?
Well, Tina wasn't about to switch either, or Katie, I don't think was about to switch either.
Yeah,
Although she probably should have.
yeah, right.
So, all right. So, okay, here's another question. Okay, so who out of like all the new people, like the loved ones, do you think that they'll bring back? I kind of hinted to this earlier. So I'm thinking like we got our main, the people we can think about. We got Vetus. I liked him a lot. What did you think about Vetus?
Now Vitas, he was
Aris,
the guy that was the ex junkie or whatever.
yeah. But he
Okay,
was like the yeah
but he
yeah
was
he
like the
was like
bully brother, or was the other brother the bully?
no. Vetus was like yeah he was supposed to be kind of the bully like he got out of jail, the ex druggie, and Aris is like the good son.
Okay, and then Vitas was the one who told like Aris let him get back up and the challenge, and Vitas was like, "All right, hold on, let me catch my breath," and then he fucking like
Yeah.
backstabbed him and shit.
Hey, I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
I
I
thought
think
that was
that
great.
guy. I like that guy's style for sure.
Well,
He's
I mean it's
awesome, but
Survivor.
no, that's awesome. He's cool, but but I thought that both of those guys were kind of douchebags to tell you the truth.
Yeah, I don't like Aris very much, but I liked Vetus. He was on the Girl Tribe for a while. He was playing it up. I'd say like I mean I don't like him. Like, but I think he's a good. I think he gets Survivor, and he knows how to like really play the game.
I think he should have been nicer to his brother. What a
Something
jerk.
like that. All right. Okay. So how about Sierra? What do you think about her? Okay. Well,
She's
wait.
got a tight body, but her face is weird looking.
Before we go that, let me just ask you one question about Vetus. Would you like to see him back again?
I bet if I took Sierra and her mom, no, never mind. What was that?
Would you like to see Vetus back in Survivor, like kind of an all-star thing?
Vetus? Nah,
No. Okay, so Sierra. Okay, so
nah, not Sierra either.
no, she tried to make some moves.
I
She had
I
a lot of
liked
camera
it, but
time.
she didn't pull it off. So boo.
Okay.
They probably will bring Sierra back though.
So and probably not Katie,
You know
right?
why they'll bring her back? Because she's smart enough to get to the end, but she's also crazy enough to draw rocks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
No,
why
I
they
like
like her,
that.
because she's volatile, she's unstable. So she makes for an entertaining show, which that's what I like. Because most of this season, to be honest, wasn't that volatile. It was all kind of like ho hum, like, we're gonna vote this guy out, we're gonna vote this guy. We're in a lot of backstabs and crazy shit, like that tribal with the rocks, that was awesome. Don't get me wrong, there are a lot of good points, but for a lot of parts of the season, I felt like no people weren't being underhanded enough. People weren't taking enough shots, take blindsides and shit like that.
Yeah. No, it seems like they Tyson's alliance there kind of controlled the whole season there.
Yeah, no, and nobody fucking made a move. And then the one time that Hayden and Caleb tried to, Sierra fucked it all up.
And then the next week she she just
And
went
then
right
the
back on
Yeah,
it.
and then she fucking changed her mind the next week, just like typical woman would. And for them, it's not even a week; it's like 3 days later or something. So I mean,
Well, that's they'll probably bring her back then just because of that.
Yeah, because she's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed watching her play, and her tight little body helped. So maybe I'm a big pervert, who knows? But that's part of the reason I watch Survivor, to check out all the hot chicks.
Okay, so Vetus, they're probably not going to bring back. You're thinking they'll bring back Sarah. What about Hayden? Do you think they'll bring him back?
Well, they brought Kat back, right?
Yeah.
They
Why?
kind of like the dumb deer in the headlights kind of. Hayden's got a little bit more game than Kat, but you saw as soon as he tried to make a move, he fell for the same fate Kat always falls for. They
Yeah.
start talking on camera in the confessional about, oh, it's time for me to make a move, about time for me to get my game on. Next tribal, going home. Every time.
I want to talk about them more later too, but there's just too much there. But okay, so trying to think. Okay, so Katie, they're probably definitely not bringing back. What Jervis is, what was
Katie
that?
didn't even have a game.
No, yeah, and Jervis's niece, they didn't even talk to her today.
That was messed up, huh?
Well, I mean, I think they mentioned her and whatever. Like, I don't know, she went out first, so what can you do?
And oh, dude, I don't think it was this episode, but what about the episode where Jervis is sitting there in the confessional talking about, what was he, something about his his loved one getting voted out and how hard that was, and did you see that one?
I don't. That's not really. No, I don't remember that.
He
Was that
went,
early on?
no, it was like last week or something. He went off for like a while about how the other side voted out his loved one and da 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 da, and never once mentions the fact that it was all his fault. You know what
Right.
I mean? Never once even takes one fucking bit of responsibility for the fact that he got her voted out,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and then didn't take her place either. You know what I mean? Like, they're like, "Hey Jervis, you want to take her place?" He's like, "Nah, I'm cool, man. You got this, girl." Like, what the fuck, dude? That guy sucks. You know what I mean? For that reason alone, I think he doesn't deserve the vote at the end. Like,
For sure. Yeah. Well, I think, and then someone made the point that Jervis really was, and I think he even said it like playing this kind of old school game, which just doesn't work now. For since the beginning of Survivor, the first 6, 8 seasons or so, 10 seasons.
what is the old school game? I don't understand that. I mean, I saw the first season with Jervis in it, and it wasn't he just lazy and never did nothing the whole time? And
Well, I think in there wasn't so much. It's funny, like with the alliances and people just didn't really like. Now it's like, oh, everyone knows. Like you gotta. How many people you need to get an alliance, like in the beginning, and how many you need like later on. There's like as like Rob has a podcast says, he always talks about the Boston Rob rules. It's
so
that's the whole new.
since it's been on so long, the people playing are all fans of the show now, regardless of who they are.
Absolutely.
Whereas in the beginning, like that first season, people didn't even talk about who they were voting for in the first season. They
Right.
just walked up and voted. They're like, I guess I'll vote for Larry. And then like the only, what was it? Richard Hatch was the guy that won that one, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
He
Yeah.
was like the only guy in the whole season that even had any strategy going.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and yeah, no, absolutely. He was the only one, and that was the beginning of
The
it. People
birth of
realized,
Survivor, yeah. I don't think it would have started if that guy didn't really figure out like how to make it a game out of it.
yeah. Okay, so all right, let's see here.
But yeah, let's wrap this up. Do you got more questions?
Just a couple more
All
really
right,
quick
no, that's
here.
fine.
So,
Go for it.
so well, and this is right down your alley. I got this for you. So I got written here. Cat is fucking crazy. What do you think about Cat there in the what is that last the reunion there?
Well, I never really liked Kat. I always thought she was just kind of ditzy and stupid, and But now that she has bigger tits, I don't know. I
I
kind
mean,
of
how
like
could you
her.
tell with that outfit? It's not like she had something on there. It wasn't
I
that
like
was
how she
the
announced it to everyone. I got bigger tits for Hayden, so he wouldn't dump me.
exactly.
She's so
Yeah.
stupid. Just like when she was like, "He's gonna dump me now that I got voted out."
Probst was like, all right, so she made that comment about like not wanting to date someone who doesn't make the merge.
Yeah, yeah.
And he kind of asked about, and then she kind of was like, well, we don't live in different, or we live in different states, and I'm trying to work on that or something. And then she's like, then yeah, she
And
was
she
like,
brings up her
well,
fake tits.
and then she was like, well, I'm top heavy now, and even Probst was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, he's like, "What? Did you answer my question?" You know.
You know,
And he never went back to her after that, right? He's like, "Okay,
uh,
cat, thanks. Nice to know you got new tits."
see, Kat, like she like in the first season just kind of like had this whole crazy persona, and then like you know in this season she tried to like back off and then try to be cool and shit, but then that reunion just blew it all up again. Now you just realize how crazy she really is again.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Some of these people like Colton come on here and try to pretend they're not who they are, and that's who you are, man. You know what I mean? Colton was a quitter, and guess what? He came back on and quit again. He's a crybaby little quitter.
So yeah, what you think about that? Like when he left? So
I think
so
it's funny how much Probst hates Colton.
he does. Huh?
Like even shit talks him to his boyfriend.
Probe said like a bunch of times you quit twice,
Yeah.
even though
Well, he made a comment at some point when Colton quit that made me think that he didn't want Colton back on the show, but that the producers or somebody else did. And
right.
he said something like, "See, I knew we shouldn't have brought back a quitter," or something
Yeah.
like that, you know? So I think
Do you think
Probst
they'll
didn't
bring
even
him
want
back
him on the
again?
show, dude. No.
Okay, you said you don't think he'll be back.
No, because now this time if they try to bring him back, Probst will be like, "No way, I ain't fucking having that guy back."
Okay. All right. So let's wrap this up. I got one last thing. So okay, we got BBB, we got Brawn, Brain, and Beauty for this next season.
But isn't
Uh,
that what Survivor is every time?
okay, so now are they gonna have three different
Tribes? Oh, okay, okay.
Brawn tribe? You got the Brain tribe and the Beauty tribe.
Oh, I can't wait for the beauty tribe.
So how is that gonna be? There, you're
I
like,
hope they don't get to wear any clothes. Except the dudes. The dudes can wear clothes.
it's all just models and
They're just gonna stand around and look pretty during the challenges.
and then the brains all like scientists and
I understand brawn and brain. I don't understand the beauty part of it. What does beauty bring to the table in Survivor? Nothing.
so
Nothing.
you think they're going to be out first.
So every challenge they'll say, "Okay, beauty, stand over here and look good." Brawn and brain, you're gonna go at it. I have no
Right.
idea, bro.
All right. Yeah, so that'll be interesting.
I think the brawn and brain aspect will be interesting. I have no idea how they're working the beauty in there, and I hope they do it well. You know, that'll be cool.
So they'll have like a show. So you have to like like you have to wear like the clothes right, and
Oh, do challenges that are beauty oriented.
there you
Okay,
go. It's
okay.
like the best selfie.
And then all the ugly nerds will come out and shit. And I'll be like, "Hey." That'll be cool.
It's just like was that show Beauty and the Beast or the Be yeah
I don't know. I never
the
saw that
girl
one.
you never saw that one.
Was that Survivor?
No, it was like Beauty and the, it was something like that. It was like where like it was a house with a bunch of nerds,
Oh, I remember something like that. Yeah,
to like model
a
chicks,
bunch of models trying to date a nerd or something.
and the nerds had to learn all like hot chick kind of culture stuff, like the right fashion.
You know what
And,
podcast we should do is the Joe Schmo Show.
oh, I love that.
Uh,
Well, Ralph Garman, man, that guy's my hero.
yeah, that show. Did you see the original Joe Schmo Show?
Absolutely, yes, I did.
Back in the day, I watched every episode of that shit back in the day when it was on TV, man. It was like my
That
favorite
was the
show.
real Joe Schmo. That guy had no idea what was
That
going.
guy was the real Joe Schmo. Actually, I never saw the end of this Joe Schmo, so don't spoil it for me,
The
because
new season, yeah, it's good.
I'm gonna go download it.
It's pretty funny.
Oh.
Yeah, no, so it sounds like, Bronze Brain Beauty. That might be an interesting season, but
Well,
yeah,
I'm
we'll see
definitely looking
next.
forward to the beauty.
All right, so hey, well, that was the first podcast.
Yeah, a test podcast. That's not
Yeah,
even episode 1. That's like episode 0.
yeah, so send us feedback if there's anything you liked or didn't like or want to hear or don't want to hear. Let us know, and you know, we'll see what we talk about next time. We'll try to put up. We got a lot of ideas, so we'll see. But this is that changes everything. This is Josh, and
Be motherfucking P.
all right, see ya.
Later, folks.